want to hold your hand when I say this, but BTS never actually issued a direct apology for their past racist and colorist remarks, at least not in the way people claim. First, let's quickly address the situation about the Korean word that sounds similar to the N-word. That was not an apology. That was just clarifying the language and informing language barriers. Now, moving forward, let's talk about the statement Namjoon made in 2017 that a lot of people refer to as an apology. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's too long, but to summarize, you can pause and read the screenshot while I break it down. He talked about how in the past, he didn't realize his words or actions could hurt other people. He said he felt confused when he was criticized at first, but over time, he started reflecting and understanding that impact matters, even if the intention wasn't bad. Also said he wants to take responsibility, change his mindset, and become a better person. And I can acknowledge there is growth in that, but personally, I don't see it as a full apology because it never specifies what he did, who was affected, or why those actions were harmful. There's no direct I'm sorry, and no clear acknowledgement of the communities that were impacted, especially the Black community. So instead of feeling like accountability, it comes across more of a general reflection. And I think that distinction matters because when we're talking about things like saying the N-word, making colorist comments, even referring to Black English as a special talent, and repeatedly engaging with Black culture without proper respect, those aren't small things. Those are things that deserve to be directly named and addressed. And this is why people continue to bring up their past. Because it doesn't just exist in isolation, it connects to the present. The Howard situation. Howard is a HBCU. It was created because Black students were excluded from white institutions, not because they choose to separate themselves. It represents Black history, resilience, and community. So when a history is misrepresented or whitewashed, it's not just a small mistake, it's erasing context. And the issue is, even now, there hasn't been a clear state taking accountability for that either. So for me, it's not about holding on to the past. It's about pattern, the lack of direct accountability over time. With that being said, I understand it's not my place to demand an apology that doesn't directly affect me. I won't stay silent when this continues to happen within the Asian community. Whether you choose to accept their apology and continue supporting them is your decision. I can't force that. But the people who were hurt have every right to feel that way, and that deserves to be acknowledged. Because without accountability, nothing really changes.
Okay, so apparently we're canceling BTS because of the most recent outrage. And my response to this is yes. Please do. Please, 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 please cancel BTS and stop standing them. Because baby, I was worried. I was really worried about how me and my friends were gonna be able to afford these concert tickets since everybody and their mom want to be BTS fans now. And if y'all cancel them, baby, we get floor seats. Like we are gonna get floor seats. Y'all can be mad. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Y'all can stop listening to them. But best believe I'm still gonna be in that stadium whenever they come my way. So yeah, go ahead and cancel them so them tickets can be affordable. Do me a favor.
What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are covering a story that has sparked a strong reaction across social media. A debate involving BTS, Harvard University and Black representation has people sharing everyday different opinions. So, some believe important part of Harvard as identity was overlooked while others feel the controversy has been, blown out of proportion. Let's take a look about that.
But I always just assumed that Black K-pop fans were okay with racism and being
I do think it's odd to see Black people criticize misrepresentation in a fandom space, and your first thought is to blame them for even being in that fandom space in the first place. And I am going to engage with this original video in good faith because the creator does say, correct me if I'm wrong, and a lot of his points are correct, they just lack a lot of nuance, and I think that is because he is coming from an outside perspective, so I'm just going to provide more context. I think one of my biggest issues with the video I'm responding to is the fact that the creator seems to hinge their understanding of K-pop as an idea that is only racist, watered down appropriation of Black music. It kind of hinges on the assumption that there is really nothing else to it, that there is really no benefit to consuming it whatsoever, because at its foundation it is simply an appropriation of different aspects of Black culture. It is simply like a bastardization of those original Black boy bands from like the 90s and 80s. It's a bastardization of Motown. There is no value in listening to it, and if you are a Black person who chooses to listen to it, your only like the reason for doing so would be wanting to see Korean people perform something that your own people have already done. This doesn't really make sense. I feel like it comes from a misunderstanding of what the industry is overall. Yes, 100%, it is based on Motown. It is based on Black music, Black pop, Black boy band structures. If you look at New Edition, like literally copy paste. And yes, there are several K-pop songs that have been straight up either heavily sampled, bought by K-pop companies to redo, or like just have like very, very deep influence of like specific Western pop songs. However, artist development programs and taking that influence is not necessarily racist in its like whole idea or concept. Pop in general, pop, rap, all of that is foundationally Black, and I feel like other groups of people can participate in it without it necessarily being racist or appropriative. I think the mindset that K-pop in its inception is like always a watered down, worse version of what we have over here. I feel like it just kind of is framing it kind of strangely. There are a lot of active Black producers in the K-pop industry. There are a lot of active Black choreographers who work in the K-pop industry. There are talented Korean producers who work in the K-pop industry. The songs made within K-pop are intensely collaborative. Usually there are many people who will work on one track, and that can produce really cool, really interesting music. I also think one aspect of the K-pop industry that is pretty unique that we don't really have in Western pop is the way that it packages together not just the music but also the choreography, the fashion, and like the promotion period in a unique way that I do think is they're pretty much the only ones actively doing it right now. The boy band wave has died down in the US. It's been dead for a very long time. And although there is anti-Blackness within the industry, as there is anti-Blackness globally, the people who are fighting for the most change are the Black K-pop fans within the fandom space. I do think it is strange to say that Black fans shouldn't even like listen to it in the first place. I do think it just comes from a foundational misunderstanding of what it is. There is genuine like fun to be found in consuming different K-pop groups' contents or just following them as a group. There are different talented people within the industry who are quite interesting to follow. I have gone to several K-pop concerts, some of which had a ton of Black people and genuinely had a lot of fun. Yes, the anti-Blackness is unfortunate, but the only reason why we continuously speak up so much is because we know it can be better than that. We know that the industry has the potential to be a much more, innovative and much more like, just better field in general if they actually took the time to address and, engage with the Black origins of the art form much more respectfully. There's this really good YouTube video I watched that just kind of talks about like appropriation in the K-pop space in general. And one reason why I think that this video, hits so well for me is because the creator used to be a K-pop fan. And at the end of the video, instead of like diminishing Black fans or saying that they just like all need to leave and stop listening to the genre in general, she actually praises Black fans for doing the emotional labor of constantly calling out this like appropriation in general. And although we don't have to do that, obviously we don't have to do that, I feel like the fact that you like something is probably why you want it to be its best version of itself. The situation reminds me of a book I read last year, and it was on Willie Mae Thornton, who is like the original singer of Hound Dog by Elvis Presley, and she's like one of the founders of like rock in general. In the book, the author talks about how they were always into like rock and roll and like different like alternative genres of music growing up, and people always asked them, oh, why do you listen to that white music? And in researching the fact that rock and roll was foundationally based off of Black music and is foundationally Black in its origins, the author mentions that in getting into these more alternative, quote-unquote, like white genres of music, the author might have actually been recognizing what was Black within those genres all along.
Maybe I'm wrong for thinking this, and y'all could let me know if I'm tweaking, but I always just assumed that Black K-pop fans were okay with racism and being disrespected. Because as someone who's not into K-pop, every couple months I see some type of controversy or racist moment that always has something to do with black people or black culture. You know, I'm seeing right now that people are mad that the group BTS, apparently they have an animation going around where they're telling the story of 7 Korean students over at Howard University. But when they show the depiction of what Howard University looks like, it is a very whitewashed version. And I have seen a lot of videos on my timeline of black K-pop fans mad about this, saying, I can't believe they whitewashed our history. I'm so done with this. I can't do this. And I'm just so confused about why they're mad. Like, I can understand why a normal person would be mad, but a black K-pop fan, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this a billion-dollar industry built off of stealing from black culture, using black aesthetics, using black sounds, and then also being racist towards black people and disrespecting black people? And this isn't my opinion. I've seen multiple videos of Korean people saying out their own mouths that this is what the industry has done for years. I remember there was a little time period a couple years ago. I was talking to this girl. She was really into K-pop and she was trying to get me into it. And I said, okay, I know there's like different generations. I'll look into it and see where to start. I did about 5 minutes of research and found countless, and I mean countless examples of these K-pop groups stealing from black artists, from their mannerisms to the way they dress to the sound of the music. Quite literally, some songs were literally copy and paste. Oh, I'm sorry. They weren't stealing. They were taking inspiration, as the K-pop fans like to say. Black K-pop fans have to be okay with racism because it's so embedded into K-pop, you find it without even looking. I remember back when season 2 of Squid Game came out, I made a video saying, yo, I've never heard of this dude Top before, but I just found out about his story. It's so crazy. He never would have got canceled if he was in America. And a bunch of his fans were commenting under the video saying, man, you never heard of Big Bang? You got to go listen to them. They're like K-pop royalty. Did about 5 minutes of research. G-Dragon in blackface. G-Dragon in blackface, and apparently they call this guy like the godfather of K-pop, yet black K-pop fans are, you know, talking about racism. And you know what's also crazy? Apparently he was on IG Live making fun of the death of Trayvon Martin. Literally, what would a Korean man from halfway across the world be making fun of a 17-year-old black boy who got murdered back when I was like 13? Didn't y'all just have a group get up here and get canceled because they had a birthday stream and they were literally doing every black stereotype you could think of, from having a bucket of fried chicken to a do-rag under a baseball cap? And the crazy part is, I saw some black people saying, oh, they just don't understand. They're just from a different culture. It's funny how when it comes to these grown adult Korean people, oh, they're just kids who don't understand. But everybody seems to understand. Like, we can all agree that if I grab the samurai hat and a katana and I start talking in the most racist Asian accent, everybody understands that's racist. Everybody understands that's messed up. But as soon as they put on their black scent and their fakest black outfit, all of a sudden, oh, nobody understands. It's kind of like that group Cordis. I think that's what they're called. They're literally the most wannabe black Korean group I've ever seen, and all of their music sounds like Travis Scott from 5 years ago. Yet everybody looking at them they were giving them the side eye when they put on a ski mask for some Christmas stream. But why are we surprised? Like, this is what I be talking about when I say I don't understand these black K-pop fans. And this isn't me telling you to boycott K-pop. Hey, man, do whatever you want with your money. I'm just saying I never understand when I see a black K-pop fan come out and, you know, they're all mad about the racist K-pop moment of the month. And yet I look at them and they got an entire K-pop stan page. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand the logic there.
My whole take on this whole, like, BTS trailer thing is that it's the erasure. It is the erasure. And the reason why black people are getting upset, especially like black Americans are getting upset, is because we are always getting erased. Erasure is so normalized now that when we're like, hey, you guys are erasing us, people are like, shut the fuck up. Nobody's erasing you. It's not always about you. Shut the fuck up. And it's like, okay. And I think it's messed up. And yeah, people are saying, oh yeah, like, it's not their fault. The guys don't have control over what's posted or not. But if you're a true ARMY and you truly know BTS, they always talk about how they're part of the creative process. They see these things before they come out. They watch them, they see them, they partake in it. So even if it was a mishap of not doing research, things like that, they still deserve to be called out on. The company still deserves to be called out on. there is no, oh, well, leave them out of this. Like, they're grown men. They're not children. Nobody in that production team are like is a child. So I don't understand why people are just like, oh, you want to instantly protect them. Because had this been any other culture that did that, like, was like that, people would be up in arms. But yet, it's Black American culture and nobody gives a fuck. Just like how when a lot of Black K-pop stars were saying, hey, you know, they're taking our music that we created. Oh, you guys didn't create hip-hop? I mean, with a little research, you'll see that hip-hop is our original genre. Rock, country, blues, jazz. Like, the American culture, 95% of it is Black American culture because Black Americans made this country. And I always feel like nobody is above being corrected. Nobody is above that. So if they need to hear that, oh, yes, you know, BTS is getting the flack for a mismanagement of production, then they need to hear this. They need to hear this. But you guys telling us to, like, shut up or it's not that serious and things like that, like that's not helping nobody in the case. And to say, oh, Howard University isn't a historically Black college and there was other people there, other races, like, literally it's listed under HBCU. And it does not matter how it was founded or who founded it. It matters that majority of it is Black. Black students go there. Majority of Black students go to HBCUs. So you can sit there and you can deny it all that you want, but the truth is the truth. Sorry. Yeah, on a cartoon, you can erase history, but in reality, you can't. And I think every Black American has every right to say something about it, especially Black Army. Especially Black Army has all the right to say anything about it because we're the ones as well supporting them, giving them money, giving them views. So why would I want to do that and yet I'm being disrespected? So y'all cannot sit there and attack Black armies or just Black Americans for feeling some type of way. I'm just hoping, like, going forth, maybe they'll fix the trailer, maybe they'll re-edit it or something, or make, like, some type of post about it. I mean, I really think that they need to redo it, if anything. Just like how when everyone got mad about Yoongi using Jim Jones' voice for his track, they took it down and they resubmitted another one. And once again, this shows that they listen and that they see. So they're not blind. They're not just like, oh my God, the company said it and we can't do anything about it. No, they know. They know because, as I said, with that whole Yoongi incident, with the whole Jim Jones situation, they changed it so that people were not offended. They can do the same thing with us.
Harvard University has long been recognized as one of the most influential historical Black colleges and university in America. Because of its importance in Black history, many people pay close attention to how institution is represented. The controversy began after BTS related project highlighted a historical connection between Korean students and Harvard University. While some viewers appreciated learning about this unique relationship, others felt the betrayal did not, adequately reflect Harvard's role in Black history. As discussion spread online, people began sharing their perspectives. Some argue that historical institutions should always be represented with their cultural and historical significance in mind. Others believe the project was focused on specific historical event and was not, intended to, to demolish any history. So, no matter where you stand with the situation has opened up with wider conversation about representation, storytelling, and the importance of historical context.
The amount of gaslighting and excuses that BTS armies are willing to go through to defend BTS is ridiculous. This clip is Namjoon being colorist toward J-Hope and V. Yet armies keep deflecting and coming up with every excuse possible. Saying he was talking about dancers, saying he meant black clothes and not skin color as if that makes it any better, and so much more. So let's actually watch the clip for what it is.
What was your first impression when you all first met each other?
When I first saw V and J-Hope, I couldn't see them because they were too black. So, yeah, when the nights get dark, I couldn't find them.
As you can see, Namjoon was asked about his first impressions of his members. And that was his answer. No mention of dancers and no mention of black clothes. He said, verbatim, when I first saw V and J-Hope, I couldn't see them because they were too black. When the nights get dark, I couldn't find them. Meanwhile, he's literally tanner than both of them. So if we're being honest, it's giving projection. And no matter how much you want to slice it or dice it, calling someone black because they're tan is wrong and colorist. You're equating dark skin with invisibility, turning it into a joke, and that reinforces the idea that the darker you are, the less you're seen or valued. And that's exactly the problem. Because every skin tone is beautiful and deserves to be seen, respected, and shown love. And I'm tired of people acting like this is harmless. Colorist comments like this being normalized in Asian spaces is a form of anti-blackness. When you uplift whiteness and lighter skin as the standard, you're reinforcing harmful beauty standards, whether you acknowledge it or not. And that shapes how the younger generations see themselves and continues the cycle. So let's stop pretending this wasn't what it clearly was. It was colorist, disrespectful, and wrong. And before anyone starts, I don't care if you still support BTS. That's your prerogative. Cancel culture is fake and doesn't exist. People only get canceled when they lose attention. The real issue is that colorism and racism continues to be normalized in Asian spaces. And people will go out of their way to defend colorism and racism even when it's their faves, instead of addressing it and holding them accountable.
Let's talk about BTS. People have theorized for a long time that they might be involved in something much darker than just music. Here we see the popular one-eye symbolism. Here we see it again and again. Here we see an entire photo shoot dedicated to it. Here we see it again at what looks like some type of fan signing event. I want you guys to keep in mind, if you don't know, that BTS is literally the most successful K-pop group by a long shot. Critics and fans alike have also said that they are one of the most successful boy bands of all time, period. I'm gonna play a clip from one of their music videos and break down the symbolism. Roll the clip. First and foremost, we see those black and white floors, and honestly, if you know, you know. We also see the singer approach what seems to be a statue of a fallen angel. He literally goes on in that video to kiss the fallen angel. People have been theorizing if that could possibly represent their baptism into the occult. And don't forget what a fallen angel represents, guys. Lastly, I found this clip from a fan who was at one of their shows. The person who ended up reposting the video felt like something was off. Roll the clip. Fans and people on the internet alike have reacted to this video, and some people have hypothesized that he might have been getting taken over by something much darker indeed. Comment below with anything I might have missed, as well as any suggestions for future videos. Wake up.
He said, and I quote, "I like my girls pretty, so fine. A1 plus 9. Black Army, stand up!" Miss said when BTS do their comeback, they need to be in their hip hop R&B bag. And J-Hope said, "Give me the stick, I'll run the mile." He said, "You got me all in, bad, I know them aces calling." I love being a part of the layout. As I get older, there will never be a day on this planet where I'm like, I hate being a black girl. I love being a black girl. Got me all in, hey, bad, I know them aces calling. Hey, he said he likes his girls with his own checks, employed, get a job. Take a shower. It's a beautiful day to be a black woman, even prettier to be an army.
Sorry, bro. I don't like BTS. You don't like BTS? How do you not like BTS? Oh my god, you are insufferable. You are uncultured. You cannot say that. That is evil. That is against the law. That is horrible. Atrocious. Yeah, me neither. I have nothing against BTS. It's just that I don't know their music. I don't really listen to their music, you know. I don't really listen to K-pop. That's it. I have nothing against BTS or Pink Black or anything. They get shocked when a Korean person they don't listen to K-pop. They go like, "You don't listen to K-pop?" I'm like, well, just because I'm Korean doesn't mean that I listen to K-pop. I mean, Pink Black is cool. I mean, you know, listen, like I like Pink Black. I think they have a very cool sort of, you know what I'm saying? They have a very cool look. They can pull it off. Yup, it's Blackpink. It's black. Oh shit, my bad. Oh, pink, Blackpink. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Oh shit. You know, and then the Blackpink fans are gonna come at me now. It is what it is. I get confused. I'm only human. You know, I don't listen to K-pop. But sorry, Blackpink. Do I know any Blackpink members? Jennifer, Leslie, Rose, and how many? Is there 5 or how many people? Jisoo, Jenny, Lisa, Rose. Ah, okay. I said that's exactly what I said. No. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. Jenny and what? Lisa. Yeah, I said that's what I said. I said what? Jennifer. Yeah, no, Jenny. Ah! Hey, I like their songs. Ooh, I look cute. Shout out to how appreciative BTS are of my culture. I loved how they just completely like study us, and yes, like there is an appropriation factor that makes more sense. I like that they respected the roots, named the artists, like don't mind saying who we're inspired by and where we came from. Like I just want to dap them up. You know what I'm saying? Like we are the fucking blueprint, and they said it. I didn't say it. K-pop is not some isolated cultural phenomenon. It's black music and black culture.
There's controversy every time someone acknowledges that K-pop is rooted in African American music and imagery. My question is, why do K-pop fans treat K-pop artists and black artists so differently? Why do the creative contributions of black people make a different group your idols? When a K-pop star wears a grill, it's bold expression. When a black person does it, it's ghetto for some reason. A research study found that 70% of people say rap is bad for society. But when a Korean person is the one rapping, they don't deal with any of that negativity. Black people come up with dances and get called trashy. K-pop groups do the same dance and you're learning the choreography. It feels like black artistic endeavors are appreciated more when they're separated from their creators. And I don't want to imply that K-pop fandom is racist, but if racism isn't the reason, I would like to know what is.
The video was about Mark Lee from NCT and his vintage t-shirt. How did BTS get in here? Oh, because it's public knowledge that I like BTS? Can you see the color on my skin? Do I look white to you? If they were racist, why would I stand them? Oh, you're making a reference to the thing they did a decade ago. I mean, it's not like BTS has the biggest black fandom out of all the K-pop groups, and it's also not like they worked exclusively with black artists in record number throughout their discography, and credited where credit was due, continues to preach on how black hip-hop is quite literally the foundation of K-pop. Since I'm not black, it's not my place to speak on the black experience, so let's ask the black hip-hop fans and let's ask black hip-hop creators. Let's open up the podium for black people to comment on that, because I don't want to speak to an experience that I've never lived. I can open up my comment section and make it safe to express their opinion. Let's go.
For me as content creator, I understand why many people want important institutions like Harvard to be represented in the way honors the history and legacy. At the same time, I believe meaningful conversation happen when people are willing to listen, learning and understand different viewpoints. So, what do you think, guys? This issue has clearly touched a nerve of many people, and it shows how much history and representation matter to communities around the world. So, what do you think, guys, about this situation? Share your thought in the comments. And I would like to ask you, if you enjoy conversation like this, you know what to do. Hit like button, subscribe. See you in the next one. I love you guys.